Inshallah and Ashe. Were you able to rest and reflect on our inner love story, our relationship with ourselves, our partnership that we have with me self, lighting up our own chalice, if you will? So, after some reflection, the sun and the water reflects the sun. So, if you've been tuning into my daily snippets regularly, you know what I'm talking about. We then stream into the realm of spirit. This is our intuition and our psychic abilities, depending on the ingredients and the flavors that we have on our own personal stage. But this is higher consciousness. That's what's included. By allowing ourselves to really see who we are through the lens of spirit and filtering through that lens the laws or the eyes of a spiritual hall of fame, I guess. So if you were to sit in your mind's eye, or physically or spiritually, spirit to matter, sit at the cosmic round table with Source, the Great Spirit, God, the universe, etc., your higher self, your Sira, what you look like on the other side, by the way. What or how would your higher God self, your otherworldly self, view your relationship, your me relationship, the one that you're in within yourself? It's like, are you committed? Have you married yourself? Did you take a vow? Did you go to an altar first? Or have you put the outer relationships before your own heart? So imagine just sitting at that cosmic round table with the greater spirit, God, universe, your higher self, Sarah, whatever you want to call it. And be self-compassionate, having a compassionate heart with your inner self, your inner world, and holding space with that energy towards your me self, if that makes sense. So the moon is in the season of our beliefs and adventure and learning and understanding. So you may feel emotional ingredients like tidal waves, what I like to call adjectives, if you will, added to our story of what we may have been telling ourselves, that inside voice, because that's what we're clearing up. So in our inner world response, our intuitive verbal channel is online for the entire season of Libra. So really being free-spirited, being free-minded, take an otherworldly philosophical narrative, a story of nature, and looking at the grand scheme, the galactic frontier picture. So with that, welcome to the Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shaman and medium, an otherworldly life coach, and a subtle energetic surgeon. But I do go by the term holistic Sha medium, which is a merging of it all, coined by my friend Rich when I was in Mongolia. But my intention is to utilize these indigenous technologies along with the elemental realms and really so much more. Our original divine blueprint to navigate our soul's harmonic through these realms, elemental, imaginal, and into the shamanic portal, that gateway, our eighth energetic center, the soul. I think they call it the soul star as well. But for me, it's just the shamanic portal, just getting that out there. And the subtle realms, the cosmic energies, and so much more. With rituals, offerings, and prescriptions, the otherworldly kind, energy to matter, to really add to your, the sauce of your ingredients, your container, your cosmic soup pot, your personal container, those ingredients in there, which really is your personal medicine, your prime directive, and just assisting you in discovering your innate inner genius, your personal medicine, the star that I believe we all are uniquely, reintroducing you to that magical essence, the being that resides within each and every one of us, so that our light can not just shine brighter, but it can beam even brighter. My name is Tanya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. Are you feeling the threads of like the harvest and doing some fall cleanup? But being that we are in the streams of grace, the conscious spiritual energy of karma, even our subconscious streams, our subconscious world even, that's a predominant energy within each and every one of us. So you may have been feeling these streams streaming through that are really unexplainable. You can't put your finger on it, but you know it's real. You may be triggered by the little fine print, the smallest deets, or the aspects of your life and this reality. And if you feel the great surge or an irrational or emotional tidal waves, I'd really suspect it's a subconscious issue within you that's like bubbling up through those streams. But in the galactic frontier, you may be recognizing and forgiving and learning from a spiritual cycle of nature, as the realms of spirit kind of cycle through the realms of nature, similar. But it's spiritual growth, it's emotional growth, stuff like that. And just seeing the trends or the patterns in your soul's narrative and the story writing within ourselves. So we all have karmic patterns within ourselves that may be like repeating, like that broken record over and over and over again, just like hanging out in the cracks of the vinyl records. If you've ever had a scratch in your record there, that's what it is. So these are in the background, the karmic stories, these subconscious memoirs, if you will, that are influencing our waking decisions, even waking up, along with the actions that we're taking. These experiences, all kinds of experiences, because we're all energetic, we're all unique, and we're all different, right? But just being able to identify some of those patterns and those trends within ourselves, and at the same time, in doing so, we're then able to dissipate them or dismiss them. We can send them back to the timeline where they came from an energetic system and a spiritual growth cycle. But by identifying a spiritual growth or a cycle of this repeating patterning within our cosmic soup, being compassionate, be forgiving, be surrendering to the pause even as they stream up, sit with them, and just allowing the full memory, the full essence or the feeling to really bubble up without any inner resistance walls, right? You have to kind of take down the walls. They feel kind of creepy. I'm just saying that out loud because it does. Sometimes not. But you know how you can put a wall up and deny that the feelings exist? So they're going to be taking the stage and addressing these feelings or these themes of our life officially, but utilizing self-love, really using self-love, forgiveness in those energetic streams, and allowing the surrendering. Within the surrendering, the suffering does end. So this really is a rinse and repeat process. So you may have to repeat it often and rinse it as many times as your heart does feel it's necessary to really ascend those issues and gravitate them into a place where they do belong. But the gift is in the accessing and the self-actualizing of these patterns, literally recognizing them in your personal relationship within yourself. It's a me to me kind of moment. I would say kind of a spirit to spirit, but it's a me to me with spirit kind of accenting it today and really accepting them. And again, in doing so, we release them from our energetic system. So you're going to need a few breaths, a few pauses. You really got to have time and space for this. But it is a day for spiritual growth inside of ourselves, our me selves. But compassion, that is literally the key ingredient to access this gateway, this doorway, along with some self-love entering the stage of our own personal cosmic soup. So with that, if you've yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do, YouTube or otherwise, really. Referring a friend, liking and sharing authentically through the heart space in the corridor. Tanya D on YouTube, my Musing with Tanya D podcast, I must say. And have you listened into the Otherworldly Insights that season? That's the season's title for this 2022 year. But also on Instagram and my private groups where I'm streaming in the Rising of the Origins right now. But let's give a shout out to the community, the village, even my new subscribers, Ashe, and thank you, blessings, and for that, inshallah. That's what I would say. And also a big shout out to those of you that have been a part of my journey since the beginning. I see you, I hear you. Finding my tribe, right? We all need a tribe. Gratitude to you as well. And also, if you don't mind hitting the bell button so you are notified. And remember, a comment or a share does get you a message for your day to get you out on your highway or out into the weekend. It really does help with the algorithm. It really helps with echoing it out to other like-minded musers in the galactic universe who are looking for insights of the cosmos, the other world, the world of spirit, subtle energies, the chakras, the elementals, source, and even dream space, I should say, and a lot more. It doesn't really matter. And you can also find me on TikTok if there's any TikTokers out there. However, if your soul is truly nudging you to dive on deeper into the realms of the other world, head on over to my Musing Corridor. This is my library in the sky. It's a digital library, I should add. Online venue. It's a venue where you have some amazing options to assist you and to guide you, along with a private sacred circle, a community, a village, really, as well. We do need more community out there. I am your otherworldly shamanic assistant. You truly are your own heartfelt healer. But sometimes we do need an otherworldly life coach assistant to really get us out of our own way. That usually contaminates our container. And with that, just a few announcements before we get too far. But here are your options. I kind of went with spirit because it's a spirit-induced day. So those are like rays of light streaming in through the clouds. To me, that's like spirit, angels, otherworldly beings kind of streaming through the cloud lines. Stones and sand, a different kind of community there. The voices and the stones. The stones hold the ancient wisdom. And also you at the center, you breaking off to body, mind, spirit, and soul. So those are your options, a little teacup and a pen, having those inner world conversations. That's kind of where I was going with that. But again, a few announcements. My meditation circle is this Sunday. It's always the first Sunday of each month. The door is open. This is it's a gift, I should say. But it's the season of Libra where we're going to open up our chalice to receive the blessings of our soul's harmonics and the early bird opportunity to invest in yourself. The door is open to utilize your intuitive gifts and your psychic abilities. We all have them. The energy world, merging the intuitive energy, our psychic abilities into streaming in from the spirit realm to the physical body and more energy to matter, bringing spirit to matter and changing our stars, or at least activating it on the energetic highway, the star that you uniquely are. When we begin to merge the energy body, the subtle energetic body in the fields and the pathways, mind you, with our physical and our soul, we then become the being, the star that we're meant to be. We become living our gift and our purpose. It's like who we are right now in the season of Libra. That's the container of relating, our inner relating to ourself, how we relate to our me self, having a me to me or spirit to spirit. It's kind of what's streaming today. Sorry. Not sorry, actually. Who we are going to be relating to our day-to-day world. So how are you relating inside of yourself then becomes the day-to-day outer world, how our relations to the other, and then out into the spheres, the cosmic spheres of our chalices, actually. It's a lot of work, right? It really is about loving our shadows, all of our gifts and all the other shadow sides of ourselves. And we have to create that sacred space. We have to have energetic boundaries, protection first, actually. But Change Your Stars is on the highway if you have yet to see the early bird offering. And last but not least, my favorite part, or one of them, if your soul is nudging you, tugging, or dragging you, kicking and screaming, your personal medicine, your gift and purpose, if it's calling out for a one-on-one, the art of cowrie shell divination. This literally was brought to the West by Elder Malidoma Patrice Somé of the Dagara tribe in Dano, Burkina Faso, West Africa. He actually came to me through vision for a long time. But Elder Malidoma Somé is an African shaman who's brought this ancient art, this wisdom, these indigenous technologies to the West. His name does mean making friends with the enemies or the strangers, which I always find curious. Like, where do you belong in the world, right? But I've been a protege, a student of elders, and I continue to be of soul service to this wisdom, these technologies, this ancient art. But it's about discovering your personal medicine, discovering that inner genius, the elementals, the realm of the ancestors, the cosmic debris and those energetic hiccups, along with really forces of adversity and truly things happening for us, not necessarily to us. But the main stage, the arena of interest is literally our ancestors. It's not just the ancestor realm, it's source, it's visions, it's dreams, but in the cosmic highway, it's kind of like the realm of the ancestors. And then we're going to dive on deeper into the forces of adversity to see where everything's kind of playing out, what's on the stage. So be sure to schedule a session if your soul is nudging you, tugging you, or dragging you, kicking and screaming, to invest in your personal medicine, your inner genius, and I will for sure be of soul service to you. So with that and our options, I'm loving our options today. That just was a download, just saying that out loud. Downloads are great, channeling. But we do have on the elemental highway a young fire dog of a day. So this is like a dry earth sun of a day, really. It's a Bing Zhu. But at the hour of the monkey, which we had earlier, this is the direction of metal. It's helpful people, creativity. Monkeys kind of have fidgety energy, by the way. So a monkey might be fidgety. A lot of metal. We got too much metal happening right now with all the computers and the technology and the things, fire and metal. It's kind of interesting. But yang water in the year, which is like an ocean or a lake, that's really helping our fire, our day, the sun to reflect light, which provides the warmth to the dog, to the earth, And that's a mountain, right? So we go to the mountain to tell the mountain our secrets, where the yin earth is the meadow. So I don't know if you watched yesterday, but I did have like a mountain and a scene in a meadow. That's kind of the frequency of today. We do have all the elementals here, which is great. A lot of yang energy though. So this is outer world, things happening in the outer world outside of us streaming in, and the month is our little yin energy there. But the tiger, the yang wood, it's not really strong in the month of the rooster, but it's still helpful to support our day. Fire, again, fire is the element warming our inner fires to the outer world. So like the sun shining down. And the rooster does have a tendency to combine with our day, the yang fire. They do elemental combinations, by the way. But this combination creates yin water, which really isn't needed because we don't really have a lot of fire until, I would say, the hour. Oh, actually, you know what? The monkey, it did boost out the fire, but that was earlier this morning, by the way. The yin earth actually isn't necessary either on the month. It's going to contaminate our yang water. So we've got some issues kind of happening in a strange way. And the yang water is useful for reflecting our day, spiritual reflection for the growth. But fire and nature, those are our key ingredients to utilize today. And we do have a performing talent, a gift, or a god. That's coming in from the month. And all these elements, they play together. They do a cosmic dance, quite honestly, an elemental realm dance. You get what I'm saying? But coming in from the month, this is our neighborhood. It's influencing our careers. It's the local neighboring community, like where we live. But if it was to combine with the year, then the range does become global, like a global influencer. So where our year talent or god or gift is charismatic, this is of a high efficiency, so it's galactic. This is highly charismatic, somebody who's highly charismatic, somebody who can instantly become famous or influential with zero or no effort. It's just natural and organic, right? They just light up the stage. They're often seen as authority figures. That's how people see them, or leaders with a lot of confidence and courage. So we do have this charismatic performing kind of energy today, along with in the spiritual heavenly realm. So we do know spirit is upon us, right? So it's a desire to let something go. That's really the utmost importance for the energy of today, of letting it go, dissipate. So with our heart officially addressing the symptom that you have, the given desire, that's the fuel needed for the transformation, the change, the shift in these patterns. So it may take a few months, however, for the issue to never come to the surface again, bubbling up through our subconscious, streaming in the experiences. But we have brought it to the round table. It's like we are done, letting the issues go within ourselves. This is the me within, then the me, right? The me within the me. The self to the self. That's kind of what's streaming in today. But beyond the path of love, walk the walk of those love streams, if that makes sense. Sometimes I question my own thinking. But the messages, we're going to go on to the messages. I haven't utilized the shaman's oracle for quite a while. Ritual is ritual and a retreat is a retreat. They are not the same thing, by the way. I had this conversation with a friend. You should really call your events for what the event is. Retreats sound more like a bougie hotel with massage and all the luxuries, where rituals are going to go into the ghost of the darkness, the shadows, total different flavor. That's just my opinion. I found people that are in a retreat container, which is really a ritual. The shadows come out and then they like get a little freaky. Didn't like the retreat, but it wasn't named what it should have been. Just my opinion. But the options here, you've got stones, which hold the wisdom in our bones. You have sand, which is actually earth of the water. And you have light streaming in from the heavens. Spirit is what I see that as. And you also have you sitting in a container having a conversation with the spirit of you, the mind of you, the soul of you. And who did I forget? The body, mind, spirit, soul. I got them all. Okay, those are your options. So first up, if you chose the wisdom of your bones, the stones and the sand, this is the lower world. It is otherworldly. The 31, this is heartfelt believing. These are beliefs that stem from spirit and land in our heart. We then law of attract the wishes, the dreams of the spirit realm. It's like spirit is inducing the wishes of our soul purpose. It's wishing us to law of attract the highest of our hearts. And does our heart believe it to be true? Sometimes, you know, you get that feeling of things are they're just too good to be true. Like you have to pinch yourself. Like you cannot believe the universe is blessing you with this otherworldly, too good to be true kind of moment. But it's within our lower world where these hidden treasures exist, the hidden treasures of all of humanity. It's a place that's very rich. It's fruitful in the darkness, the ghost in the darkness. And this is where we can find those little aspects of ourselves that we've abandoned and disowned within our own psyches. But the lower world is kind of the place of our ancestors. This is where we discover our innate giftings, our lessons, even from the past, those energetic hiccups, our karmic subconscious memoirs. That's kind of what I see them as. But it's the realm of the collective unconsciousness as well. But we're healing these threads where we meet our demons, right? Transforming them into pure energy, pure light, our source of personal power, our personal medicine even. But the medicine here is the possibility of maybe we are one of those people. Good Lord. That was a little frustration there. That's the possibility, though, in the message, where we are one of those people who don't like to face the past, and the karmic streams are really upon us today. So in our me world of how we relate to our me self, now the past is calling us to be acknowledged, to be heard, to be embraced, to be validated. And the only way to become unstuck is to really honor everything that has really transpired within our lives and reflecting the water, the sun to the water, on the lessons learned, and then literally moving through those streams, those, you could go to the waters really, for growth. If you're able to bear witness to your past and learning those lessons, they're going to stop haunting us as we then embrace those gifts. We then recover a missing part of our soul, those hidden treasures that are within us. So it really does match the cosmic highway in a way, streaming in, if you know what I'm talking about. It really kind of does. And then if you chose the streams of light, you have the corn, which is the harvest. This is the harvest, it's manifestation. This is when things that you trust and love become manifested, landing in our earthly reality, physical form, the 10. And the corn is symbolic of sustenance, being sustainability in a way. It's the tangible Mother Earth, the abundance. It represents material prosperity and the world of form, which provides stability and sustenance to the masses, to the world. And just knowing that there is more than enough to go around. However, sometimes I feel like our higher earthly physical uppers, if you know what I'm talking about, are mismanaging all of this at the moment. If you're going to do for one, you got to do it for the all. But this is otherworldly also. So the medicine here is just being aware of our shortcuts to our dreams and the fast track that's being offered, like those MLM fast tracks. Kind of funny. But things are being offered to us now. So being a reflector in human design, I mean, I have to hold for like 30 lunar days as the moon cycles to its return spot. And that's what I do, being especially mindful of my feelings of entitlement sometimes, or an expectation of something for nothing. So it really is an energy of gratitude, perseverance, being humble or having humility, and being really kind of prepared to work towards our goals, planting the seeds of our intentions consciously, even with respect, like the cause and the effect, and releasing any insecure thoughts of scarcity, the scarcity mindset, or feeling that there isn't enough, or worrying that somebody else could literally take what is yours. But just knowing the universe, the universe, it illuminates our prime directive. It's always going to provide for us, and giving it a great amen, a thank you, a gratitude, and holding space literally for sometimes a universal timeout. However, you do need to be in relationship with the universe in order to receive the bounty, kind of reaping what we sow, which is also curious. So really taking heart, even if you didn't plant well, it's like, have you conjured up the illusion of a drought? There is always a new season, a new beginning. Again, rinse and repeat that recalibration. So with that, and then if you chose the little message to yourself, journaling, the you with the mind, you with the soul, you with the body and spirit, all of it. You get the ancient ones, which I love. The ancient ones, the one is the heart, the star that we are. It's our core heart. It's the processor of our inner world, loving ourselves and protecting ourselves. It's having a sacred, heartfelt boundaries, energetic and physical, catching and releasing, which sometimes we catch and we don't release. but I've been doing a lot of catch and releasing. If it's not the right feeling, you got to release it. Otherwise, we contaminate our waters. But the ancient ones, these are the old shamans, the shamans of old, who really defeated death. They escaped tyranny of the time. But the ones who walked the earth, just like us, in the flesh and the blood and the bones, probably sweat and tears, different kinds, but now they reside in infinity, the great beyond, and they can really assist us and counsel us after we say yes to our calling, our gift and our purpose, our inner genius, our personal medicine. So they're available, just like the singers of the realms, to assist us and guide us and to attain our full self-realization. So they're calling out to us today. They're literally begging us urgently, really, to examine our attitudes, actions, characters, to be sure that they are in the highest of integrity. Not forgiving an ancestor, for example, or ourselves for that matter, is keeping us from these freedoms that we are heartfelt seeking. That's what we're doing today. Can't make this up. So remember, it's no longer your karma, and we can break the chains that once bound us to this family drama, even freeing us from generational curses, if you know what I'm talking about, and forgive and releasing the ones that we need to, and honoring our biological ancestors, really by lighting a candle. It really feels like some ancestralization. I was truly blessed that I was able to take that journey with Malidoma in the Dagara ways and those cultures. But it's initiating the realm, so feeling really blessed. Okay, so with all of that, spiritual enlightenment is really on the highway. So it's like, what spiritual congress are you going to sprout a new cycle into? A new spiritual unleveled growth pattern, planting those seeds and releasing karmic debt, that indebtedness. So with our crown center online, the channel of spiritual divine connection, channeling in, our vision center there, different than our third eye, along with our throat channel, which is on all season of Libra, hearing our spiritual team. We've got the Ong, seed sound, and the Hom channels. Those are on the show notes, by the way. So be self-compassionate. Add forgiveness as an ingredient to your personal cosmic soup, your streams. Listening to your guides, your guardian, your spiritual advisor, that heavenly realm, even your higher self, your Sira. So I would affirm that I am being more in love with myself, adding a cycle of new spiritual growth, being karmic free. And my wish is for you to see you in the meditation circle, the season of Libra, the angelic being Jophiel, to beautify our inner world, creating sacred space and beauty to our outer world. I do a message, by the way, for the season as well, so it's super fun. It's kind of a playground. So with that, Ashe, I will see you Sunday for a fun day, a meditation circle style, and Monday for a musing Monday. Be sure to do your ritual tomorrow for October 1st as well. Cinnamon, bay leaves, salt. Yeah, at the front door. Ashe, and I will see you on the other side. Blessings.